Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is June 10th, 2022. And today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. markets tumble. And we didn't expect this for a while, but everybody's anticipating. There's a difference between anticipating and expecting. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. But major economic events for the today. At 2:30 South African time out of the United States, core price index. That's an inflationary report, monthly number coming out. Now, as we look at the various markets, the major pairs looking for a bounce when it comes to Forex symbols. The indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both tumble. In terms of commodities, gold trickles down while oil remains steady at 121. Looking at the stocks, it's Facebook and Amazon that were the biggest losers out of the entire realm. Now looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin really being unchanged at 31,000 and just sticking there. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. Markets are trading in tandem, which means they're all trading according to how they trade. If the dollar is going to be strong, the Dow Jones is going to be weak, okay, or vice versa, okay, depending how you're looking at it. Now we're looking at a 4-hour chart of the Euro USD, and right here was previous resistance, and this is where it becomes subsequent support. This is really just simple stuff. This is not like trading MACDs and all the indicators that are just really very complicated. You're just trading support and resistance here, and at 106, it's a beautiful place to pick it up, as this will challenge that upper limit again, okay, at that 107.56-ish level. So it's about a 100 pip move, and you could see that moving average, a 30-day moving average, is a decent support for it to be as well. Now, if we look at the GBP and the Australian dollar, kind of like the same thing, a little bit less shaky in the GBP, but you can see that we're at the bottom of that range, and we are bouncing off of it at 125.14 from 124.79. So although it's a much more volatile pair, the GBP USD, it is still looking like it's bouncing off of support. Okay, so right here at the Australian dollar. Now looking at the Australian dollar, at 71.22, also bouncing here just off of its lows, also bouncing off a supportish area, previous resistance, subsequent supportish area. Okay, so I need to emphasize that once more. Now looking at commodities, gold just trickling down to 1844, nothing to really write home about. But oil remaining steady at 121. This is an important move because although that oil has been making a little bit of corrections, but it's still pushing back to this 126-ish level. And if it does, we could see it new highs for the year even if it pushes it past 129. So keep that on your radar. Now looking at the Dow Jones, look at that nosedive. I mean, we were trading in a pretty decent area. 33,330-ish level was resistance. You could see it several times hit it, and then just every time it hits it, it just broke apart. Finally, it broke 32,700, and when that broke, that the floor came out. So are we anticipating some sort of bounce? Perhaps, okay? But remember, this is summer trading, so you could see the volume is actually a little bit lighter, but the selling was just as well yesterday at this area. So that's really important to note. Now looking at the NASDAQ also having this nosedive, we know that they've been weak. And we anticipated this, but we did not know that it was going to happen yesterday. Okay, so that's part of the challenge in summer trading, is that these things you've got to really keep your finger on the pulse, and you got to keep your eyes on the screen the entire day, because initially it didn't look like we were going to sell off, but then as the day unraveled, you saw this massive sell throughout the day. So that's really important. Now looking at the individual stocks. So Facebook was one of the biggest losers yesterday, from 196 down to 183. That's a major retracement there. Now next real support level is 178. So we still have some room on the downside as well. Amazon was the other one. Remember, Amazon was trading at $125, right after it came out with a 20-to-1 stock split. And you see it's not maintaining itself. Okay, so this is really like a big red flag as to the direction of Amazon moving forward. Now, some of the other stocks, Apple did retrace and Microsoft also retraced, but you see not as aggressive as some of these other major stocks. Looking at JP Morgan, also retracing to 125. That's an important move from 132 down to 125 for a major bank like that. Now, lastly, looking at Tesla, did move, but you see it's not as, market based, and they're still having some strength there. Unless it's going to break these two moving averages, then it will break down further. Now looking at lastly at Bitcoin, nothing, 30,000, just trading sideways, really, not up, not down, you know. So I would keep my fingers off the keyboard when it comes to Bitcoin, at least at least until it breaks out of this really, really tight range. So just keep that in mind. Now, we are still summer trading, so keep that in mind. So, there are going to be these type of extreme moves over the summer on the downside and also on the upside, potentially, if there's short coverings in the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ. Now, today's number is very important, so that can have a major impact on the markets. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.